Hello, everyone. Welcome to the very first episode of Youth Life, the podcast where we share real stories, real struggles, and real lessons from young Nigerians just trying to, figure out life and figure out our place in it. So, I'm your host, Promise, and today we are kicking things off with a topic that every core member remembers all too well: my first day in camp. So there is something about your first day in camp that you never forget. The noise, the lines, the uniforms, the mix of excitement and fear. For some, it's pure chaos, but for others, it's a moment of pride. But one thing's for sure, it's surely a day filled with stories. Well, today I've got Godson with me, an ex-core member, if you can put it that way, who just finished with the recent C1 batch that had their POP a few days ago. So, like all core members, he also went through that drama too. So we are going to talk about how that first day felt, the surprises, the laughs, and maybe, or surely, a few regrets. Because we must all have made a couple of mistakes in that first day of camp that we can also help others shape their experiences too. So whether you have served or you're still waiting for your call-up letter, this one's for you. So just grab your earphones, relax, and let's rewind to that unforgettable first day in camp experience. So I'm going to introduce Godson here with me. So Godson, how are you and how was your day? And how excited are you to be the first guest in this podcast?
Well, I have to say it's an honor to be here with you, Leonard. Leonard is actually my friend, and he's been clamoring on starting this podcast for a very long time. And so it's actually a pleasure to be here as his first guest.
So thank you very much, Godson. So we are going to kick right off, and for this particular episode, we are going to have a couple of sections, and each section is going to have a few questions, So the first section is basically the arrival in camp, and, there are a lot of questions that some people might have. Even incoming core members would have a lot of questions for this particular section. So, but the first question here is, what were your expectations before going to camp? I'm sure you had a couple of expectations before going to camp. So what were they?
Well, the truth be told is that I didn't really have a lot of expectations going to camp. I always thought this NYSC was just a waste of time, and it's something that should be scrapped. But when I see some of my colleagues, my course mates who registered for NYSC before me, you see their status and how much fun they are having during NYSC camp. That's what I'm saying. One thing you have to understand is don't believe everything social media tells you, because some people will be posting on social media and then they will be all smiley faces and they'll be happy, but you don't know what they are going through. So I was deceived. I was one of those people who was deceived into going into this NYSC just because of the fun that I thought they were having. Although there was fun in NYSC, truth be told, but then it's not all fun and happiness. So I think the expectation I had was from my colleagues who registered NYSC before me and how they portrayed the whole thing on social media. I was thinking it was just a fun activity just for 21 days, and that was how I saw NYSC.
Well, we all had our expectations on our first, or before going to camp. We had a lot of expectations. So how did you feel when you got your posting letter? Were you excited? Were you scared? Disappointed? Because I recall that you camped at Ogun State camp. So how did you feel when you got your posting letter?
When I got my posting letter, well, first of all, I tried to work it out. I wanted to be stationed at Lagos State, but unfortunately, the plug that I was referred to wasn't able to do it very well, so I got Ogun State instead. The excuse was that Lagos batch has already filled up. But I was still a little bit, it was bittersweet. I wouldn't say I was disappointed like that because I know that Ogun State is still close to Lagos State. And Ogun State is also a very big state, there could be a lot of opportunities. And it's also a state I haven't visited to. So that curiosity, that explorer within me is still excited to see Ogun State.
Well, so I also camped at Ogun State, but I did not have any issues. I did not have any issues with my posting because I just waited for God or for NYC to post me wherever they wanted. And I was lucky to get Ogun State. So what was your journey to camp like? Because any drama, any fun moments on the way?
Well, not really, because in terms of drama or fun moments, I would say the journey was just smooth. Thank God for joining Mercies. The thing is, I haven't been to Ogun State before, personally. It's the same road. I'm from Delta State, so let's just get the context here. Background check. I'm actually from Delta State, and when you're traveling from Delta State to Ogun State, it's the same road you take from Delta State to Lagos State. So I've been to Lagos before. I've traveled to Lagos on my own before, but I haven't been to Ogun State. So I was kind of confused on where to stop, because I don't want a scenario where I'll have to drive past Ogun State. So I was always, when I was still on the road, I'll be sleeping at intervals because the journey was very peaceful and smooth. So I'll be relaxed and sleeping at intervals. And I even remember that I had to wake up very early, so I couldn't even get enough sleep the night before. So I was always sleeping at intervals. And that sleep would have put me in trouble if I didn't wake up at the right time to tell the driver, it's actually Shagamu I'm going to, please stop. Because the driver will stop at Shagamu, obviously, just to see if people will drop out of Shagamu. You get. So at least we thank God for the joining Mercies.
Well, thank God for that. It was my experience was actually peaceful because I've been to Ogun State a couple of times. Yeah, because I'm based in Lagos. Unlike Godson that had to come all the way from Delta. So I just picked up my bags and off I went to Ogun State camp. So what was your first impression when you arrived and you saw the camp gates? Those soldiers at the entrance and all that. What was your first impression?
More, I say, na military with this. See the way the place just looks like Ogun State. Funny enough, I think maybe the impression or maybe my preconception about camp before, I was like, camp is usually ugly. I used to see some pictures of people posting in camp. It doesn't look that fine, per se. It doesn't look beautiful. But Ogun State's camp is actually one of the best looking camps in Nigeria. So I was actually surprised. The whole grounds were interlocked. There were just grasses around, the gates.
Yeah, it looked very, very beautiful.
Yeah, it looked actually very beautiful. So I was not like, okay, maybe my heart, because I had a very low expectation. So the moment I saw Ogun State camp, it was just all surprises. So that was my first impression when looking at the whole Ogun State camp.
Yeah, that's actually very, very good. So, how did the registration go for you? How did your registration go? Was it smooth? Was it stressful? Because, they're
going to check my bag like say I put drugs. They're going to check my bag like say I put drugs. They're going to like, okay, bring out your clothes. Bring out your appliances. Bring out your whether you took any drugs, like medicated drugs, doctor recommended drugs per se. So they had to segregate every single item to check for contraband, to check for maybe stolen stuff. I don't know, maybe things that are not allowed, because the NYSC usually has a list of stuff you're not required to take to camp. So they had to checklist all of those things and check if you carry any of those. stuff. So that was the whole first experience when I just got into camp. During the registration process, somebody will be registering you and another person will be checking your bag. But one thing that I actually did was I fucked up. I actually took my system to NYSC camp. I took my laptop. I don't go blame me now. Me, I do hustle now. I'll be hustling guy. So I'm actually in the tech space, by the way. So I will always look for remote jobs online to feed myself. Again, so I cannot just imagine a time, a scenario where 21 days I know they work like. Okay,
I want a job.
Wait till I want a job. I beg. So I can't carry my system. I even talked to a couple of coppers who have been in camp before me and asked them about taking system. I think one of my friends told me that you can take your system, but you won't be able to use it. You won't have the time to use it. So he didn't really tell me that they will confiscate my system for me, which this is actually what they did. They took my system away from me, and I didn't even use it throughout the entire camp. But thankfully, it was safe. So, I see the day when I want to go, finally, when I want to leave camp, my heart can't beats fast because what if this system? What if the screen break? What if something fall press am? How they can't take? What if person sit down on top? What be small thing I can't think my head won't scatter.
So my own registration was very, very smooth because I entered and everybody was running helter skelter. There were a lot of people plenty because some people came from Lagos State camp, so we were actually more than expected. But luckily for me, there was a particular soldier, I'm not going to mention his name, that just picked me up at random to help him do some tasks. So as I was done with those tasks, he just took me to the front of the line, and I did not even waste time to register because everything just became smooth from there. He just told me if I had any issues, I should just come to him. It was very, 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 very interesting. Very, very. So, I mean, when you go to camp first time, you should just try to look for help because, I mean, you can't do everything alone. Just look for someone to help you out. So, do you remember your first encounter with soldiers or camp officials? Or did you have any encounter with soldiers or camp officials throughout your stay?
I not that I can think about it, but everybody has an encounter with soldiers and camp officials.
Sure.
Or more. Like they wish the encounter pass parade. Wish the encounter pass parade. Everybody don't suffer parade before for this NYSC camp or more. The first day, I think it was the first, because the reason why the first day of camp for me, as soon as I got into camp, like there were a lot of few people following me, like a lot of few people were registering with me, a lot of few coppers were registering with me, and the reason for that is because I came late, because camp NYSC camp usually has like a deadline, a couple of days where you have to come to get registered and settle down in camp. So I came like a day before the deadline. So I was even rushing to camp, and there were like a few of us. But that same day, they did an orientation camp. They did an orientation in the stadium. And then we're now required to put on our NYSC vest and all of that. Yeah. And then we'll now go to the stadium. And it was very, very, very hot. Like the sun was cooking. Like, see, I don't know about the western states, shower, but from where I'm from, in South Delta states, the sun is not that bad compared to Ogun State. If you think that Delta State's sun is hot, Jesus, Ogun State's sun will cook you. Like you can literally boil egg under Ogun State's sun. Guy. So we're just standing under the sun. First day in camp like this, I was just standing under the sun during the orientation. Like we're just there, and the soldiers were telling us to do certain moves. Remove headdress.
So I'm sure at that moment you started thinking, what have I gotten myself into?
As a guy, waiting be this, like almost like no breaks. I'm just coming out from a journey. I was just super tired, and the first thing we're doing is just parade. I was as confused, like, what is going on here? What is this? Can I opt out now?
So guys, this is all for the first section of this particular episode. So we'll just have a short, I think 20-30 seconds break before we enter the next section, which is settling into camp. So I'll be right back, and I'm your host, Promise, with Youth Life, where every single experience matters. So welcome back, guys. We are going to kick right into the next section, and for these remaining sections, we're just going to quick fire questions. So we'll just have a quick fire question and answer session to make you all just flow. So without any breaks, I think we'll have no breaks until the fourth section, where we are going to have a reflection episode or a reflection part. So but till then, let's just kick right into it. So for this next section, we are going to talk about settling in. How was your first night in camp? Did you sleep well, or did you not sleep at all and start regretting your life choices?
Well, first night in camp, the rumor was that we were supposed to sleep as early as possible because we're going to wake up by, I think it's 4. Supposed to wake up by 4. That's when I'm supposed to hear the trumpet and all that. So I was thinking, all this one is just sky talk. I just shall sleep. The kind of person I am is that I'm so used to working at night that I don't sleep early. I usually sleep late at night. So rather than trying to conserve time to actually sleep well, get enough sleep, this one thing you have to understand about NYSC camp is that the time it takes for you to sleep, your sleeping time actually matters a lot. So the more you can stretch that time, the more healthier you become. The more you won't get stressed out. So or sick even. Yeah. So basically, I didn't even get that memo at first. So I just decided to sleep very, very late. And when I woke up with the sound of the trumpets. That first night, normally your roommates are there, you're not making noise, discussing, you'll be hearing. See, in fact, I got to understand the Yoruba culture a lot. The Yoruba people love speaking their language. In Delta State, we speak our language, but if we want to communicate with one another, we usually use, the common English or pidgin English. But majority of people in my camp, especially in my room, were Yoruba people. So they were just speaking their tribes, and I didn't really understand most of the things they were saying, and they were just discussing, as if they've already known each other for so many times, for such a long time. And I was just there like, waiting this up, I get. Me, I was just trying to protect my stuff because I keep hearing that there's still a lot in this NYSC camp. So I was just trying to protect my stuff, put my bags under my bunk and all of that. You get. I was trying to section my goods. This is my clothes. This is my bucket. This is my stuff. You get. I was trying to put all the labels and all of that. So that's basically what I did that first night. I even ate at Miami food. Miami food was sweet.
So how was the first meal you ate in Miami in camp? How did you go?
That evening, they were sharing, that there's a time where you eat evening food.
Yeah.
Camp. So you can go to the kitchen. NYSC camp will give you. NYSC will give you our food from NYSC kitchen. But that food is terrible. So I just looked at it from my roommates eating. Like, what is this? What is this? Like, I don't understand.
It was not terrible for me.
So I was just like, I beg. I just go buy food for mommy. So now mommy I chop.
And it was good food. What you chop? You didn't okay, Abi?
It go well now, normally. Now, mommy food no bad. I don't know about other states, but Ogun State mommy, their food do well.
So how did you adapt to like sharing space with strangers? Bunk beds, bedrooms and everything. How did you adapt?
it was not easy. It was not easy. But then I've had a little bit experience, living with a lot of people before. So I was able to adapt. I was just able to, as long as I label my own things, put my own things in where they should be. And funny enough, I was able to make friends easily. I think the more you communicate with people in your surrounding, let's say your bunk neighbor and your bunk mates, the more you communicate with these people and you kind of lessen the boundary between both of you guys, you can actually establish a quick trust so that you'll be able to feel comfortable putting your things where they are, so that you can actually watch over your stuff and you can watch over your stuff as well. So it's only when you are trying to avoid communication that it's going to be a little bit of an issue, and let's say anxiety over whether your stuff is going to get missing or not. So I think that's
So especially for me, my bunkmates Samuel, Shegun, and Dave, those three guys were amazing.
Shout out to them.
Shout out to Samuel, Dave, and Shegun. We literally did many things together. So you have to basically find someone so you will not go mad. Because you need somebody that can stand in for you basically when you're not in your room or something like that. So also, did you meet anyone on the first day that later became close to you, like on the first day or second day basically, that became close to you later on?
The first set of people I met on camp after registering was two guys, Tosin and Smith. Tosin and Smith later turned out to be my roommates, and they were actually my bunkmates. Although we were very close at the beginning, but let's say we were pretty much close. Yeah. So that's how we'll just put it.
Was there any moment that?
But then there was this one girl I saw at camp. This girl is very fine girl. I saw her during the registration, and I was looking at. No, I saw her not during the registration, when I was going to collect my NYSC kits.
Yeah.
You know that after you've registered, that night, you still go and collect your NYSC kits. So I took my NYSC kits, and when I was taking my NYSC kit, I saw her while she was trying her kit on, because at that point, everybody was trying to get the right NYSC size, the size of khaki, the size of shoe, the size of trouser, and all of that.
Crested vest. Everything.
Yes. So I couldn't even get my size earlier on, but she was able to get that size. I was just observing her, looking at her. She was like, why am I looking at her like that? I don't know, but any person I see when I get interested, I don't take my eyes off her, I swear. So both of us actually linked up later, and we became pretty much close even after NYSC camp.
Wow, that's actually very, very nice. Yeah. So was there any moment that made you laugh uncontrollably, or something that frustrated or scared you during your camp experience?
A lot of during my camp experience, I had fun. The thing you have to understand about NYSC is that just when you're going there, don't avoid activities. Just engage, do a lot of things. So I was my platoon's Mr. Macho. I was my platoon's cultural king. I was my platoon's goalkeeper. I coached the volleyball team, the female volleyball team. I acted drama. I did a lot of things basically during my NYSC camp. And there was a lot of moments there that, in fact, I cannot even count. One of the things that frustrated me was when I was even coaching those volleyball girls, where one of the referees, I think he was behaving impartially towards us. He was behaving, let's say, partially. It was behaving partially towards the opponent team. So that was one thing that frustrated me. Then there's a lot of moments I can't count. There was one particular one that made me laugh. It was when we were doing Mr. Macho, when I came outside. I came outside with oil on my body. with oil, rubbed oil on my body. So I was just doing the poses, and all my guys, my friends, my platoon members, they were just cheering me on, and it was very funny, that experience. And even there was this other guy that was doing Mr. Macho. He didn't even have the muscles. He just had fat. I think it was Platoon 4. Shout out to him, Shao. Was that moment when he tore off his shirt and his singlets. It was just so funny.
Oh God.
Oh God.
So my own camp experience, it was a lot. Basically, those sharing space with people, meeting people that became close. I met a lot of people because I was very popular because I was playing football for my platoon and a couple of other things that we did together. So we basically had lots of fun. So, but I had many sweet moments in camp, many fun moments. So how did you adjust to the military drills, those early morning, pam, 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 those noise, the bigu sound every morning? How did you adjust to it? Many people used to have this PTSD after camp where for weeks or even months they will not still recover from those early morning bigu sounds. So how did you adjust to it?
Well, the best way to adjust is just to get enough sleep. Try and prioritize your time. I think NYSC camp will just teach you how to manage your time.
Yeah.
Don't waste time. If you want to get sleep, make sure you are in bed early as possible. As soon as you're done with side class, because there's these side classes that we do where you do skill acquisitions. So as soon as you're done with your side classes, it's being held I think it's around
9 to 2, I think.
9 to 2, right? Or is that social gathering? There's a social gathering too that we do, social nights or side classes. Social nights.
Well, side classes in the
morning.
Yeah. Social night is in the night. Social nights, gatherings in the night.
Yeah, so we do social nights. Then as soon as you're done with social nights, you just go to bed. Basically, get food before social nights. Go to bed. Try maximize your sleep time. That is just all I'll just say. So if you maximize your sleep time, you can at least take those military drills in the morning, and that's how it goes. But because if you don't sleep, you'll be so stressed out and you might fall sick. So that's it.
So what surprised you most about NYSC camp life on that first day? And if you could go back to that first day, what advice would you give yourself?
What surprised me about NYSC camp life? A lot of things surprised me. The way one of the most prominent things that stood out for me was, or that stood out for me was the fact that people treated you differently. Because now everyone is in NYSC camp is wearing the same uniform.
Yeah.
Everyone is putting on white and white in NYSC, and nobody's going to judge you based on the quality of clothes you're putting on, whether you are from this background, whether you're from this, you are in this particular location. Everybody's in the same location, wearing the same white and white, putting on the same uniform.
Yeah.
So people are going to treat you not like they're going to treat you in the real world, because they don't know who you are. So most people might treat you with respect, you get, and especially the women. The women in NYSC camp were lovely, and they had this, at least to some degree, most of them, because there are also going to be girls there who are going to show their character, obviously. But I digress. The point is that people will treat you. People are going to treat you with some level of respect, especially when you are in NYSC camp, because they don't know who you are. You're a bit mysterious, and everybody is wearing the same white and white. So that's what I was saying. Another thing that surprised me was the military drills. Those were a big shocker to me, and I expected it, but I didn't expect it to be as brutal as it was. You get, guy, it was brutal. I didn't expect it to be as brutal as it was. And the fact that a lot of people were collapsing, passing out, and
ambulance back and forth.
Ambulance back and forth. Red Cross were on duty 247. It was very surprising to me.
So if you could go back to that first day, what advice would you give yourself?
What advice would I give myself if I also go back to that first day? I will say, well,
Be more open-minded.
be more open-minded. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Be more open-minded. Although I was pretty much open-minded during my NYSC camp, I was always ready to try new things. And I think one thing I will give myself is that please, don't take the relationship in NYC camp seriously. Do not take it seriously.
No,
99% of them will not work out. Oh,
I'm
guy.
going to talk about that.
99% of them will not work out.
That is a whole that must cover a whole episode, honestly. Camp relationship. Camp scam. So okay, looking back,
You'll be seeing married women will be toasting you. See, run away. Married men too, for the ladies, they will be toasting you. Run away.
So looking back, how do you think that first day shaped your camp experience overall? I mean, that first day, walking through the gates, seeing the soldiers, the noise, the hustle and bustle everywhere. How do you think it shaped that first day? How do you think it shaped your camp experience overall?
It just gave me that shock, that surprise. And from that surprise came curiosity, Once you are shocked by something, what usually follows it is, although not all the time, but curiosity follows it. So that curiosity and that willingness to engage in multiple activities, I think that was the same energy that I followed through all the way through NYSC camp.
Wow, that's actually very, very good. So if you could describe your first day in one word, what would it be and why?
I will just describe it as
just one word.
Surprise. That's the word. Surprise. Surprise.
Nice. So I'm basically going to just describe my own as exciting. That is the word I'm going to use, exciting. Because I mean, both positively and negatively, you'll be excited whether you like it or not. They will excite you.
Negative excitement.
Negative excitement and positive excitement. So that's for this round, and we are going to have a short break once more, and when we come back, we'll just have this quick fire round with some back and forth questions, or this or that questions basically. So I'll be right back in a few seconds, and remember, this is Youth Life, where every single experience matters. So welcome back to Youth Life, where we talk about youth experiences, help other youth shape their own experiences too. So this is the final section, and we're just going to have some this or that questions. So, Godson, morning drills or man o' war drills?
Morning drills. See, although I liked the man o' war drills, but I still prefer the morning drills, because if we're doing that man o' war drills all the time or more, person for collapse. I remember during that man o' war drills, that tug of war pulled a lot ounces of energy from me. Joules of energy, like see, any metric that you want to quantify it, all the energy that I used in my life, that's what I used during that tug of war. That tug of war, it was insane, but we won, and I pulled like I never pulled before. And after that tug of war, any other man of war activity, because tug of war is basically the first one we do, before we now move on to other man of war activities. So any other activity that we did that time was so stressful because I used a lot of energy during that tug of war.
Okay. So basically, I'll pick my morning drills too. Those man of war drills are big. Okay, I don't break my head. So camp food or Mami Market's food?
Mami all the way, bro.
Sleep or parade?
Sleep now. Wetin you talk? I wan use parade to.
Nobody will ever pick parade over sleep.
You get one guy for our bunk that time. Get one guy for our room. The guy put sunshade. They sleep for on top of bunk. The guy put sunshade. They sleep on top of bunk. Now, soldier they say, oh yeah, everybody to parade ground. Parade ground. If you are walking, you are wrong. If you are walking, you are wrong. So the guy just enter inside our room like this. Everybody don't dress up. People don't come out. This guy see they sleep. Put glasses. He put glasses for eyes. See they sleep. He put shades for eye. They sleep. Soldier call the tap. He say. Soldier call the tap his head like when he hit his head. Get up. Parade ground. So I can't blow trumpet. When they blow the trumpet for his ear. This guy no wake up. He dey tap his head. Next time say this one don't die. So I go ask like this one don't die. Before only he go wake up. I say that guy don't go. This sleep see. I beg forget.
So I'll basically pick sleep. I beg. So friendships or flings?
Friendships, quality friendships. No matter how the relationships in NYC, 90% of them are flings. There's still genuine friendships you might see during NYC.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, you pick friendships anytime, any day, because you would surely see friends. Surely see friends that will help you shape your own experiences too, because honestly, friends, they are more important than any other thing. Very, very, very much important. So I always pick friends over any other thing. So are we on time or are we after the camp 3 weeks?
Are we after the camp because most of the money I even used during that time, they were still paying us 33,000. Like it was just recently they started paying us 77k. Alawi after the camp, although the money is very small, but still Alawi after the camp, because if they pay us early, I swear that money don't finish before the month will even start. If they say they pay us, started November. That's when we started the camp. So let's say they paid us during that November, and they're paying us for December. And they paid us for November. They will have waited until December before paying us, rather than just paying us that November. Because they paid us that November before that November month will end. That we don't finish. So the later the better, please.
So thank you very much, Godson, for joining us on this our very first episode of Youth Life. So we've basically spoken about a couple of things, just experiences that we've gone through on our first day in camp. So just what we just need to realize is just be open-minded. That's the thing. Just be very much open-minded and be ready to try out new things, because the more you start avoiding, the more suffering you feel. So when you are open-minded, it becomes less of a chore and becomes something fun. So that's basically the first thing you need to know in camp. Some people will tell you go to camp with plenty money, but there are also some people that did not go to camp with up to 10,000, 15,000, and their camp was even more fun than some people that went there with a whole lot of money. So the whole thing is just basically be open-minded, be ready to try out new things, and the more you try to avoid, the more suffering you get when they catch you, because surely they will catch you. Out of that 21 days in camp, you cannot escape for the whole 21 days. You will be able to escape most of the time, but at least they will still catch you. So the more you just ready for the whole thing, the more better it gets for you.
Accept whatever comes with courage. That's just what I would say, because And if you are trying to resist difficulty or pain, you are causing suffering. So you are going to suffer if you are trying to resist pain. But the more you accept pain and accept the whole process, just open your mind to it, and you're going to have a good time.
So thank you very much, Godson. So next week we're just going to be talking about camp survival hacks. This is very, very important too. From how to dodge parade to where to find the best food in Mami, and how to basically be on the favorable side of every single experience or every single activity in camp. So next week we're going to talk about camp survival hacks. So this is Youth Life, where every single experience matters, and see you all next week.